Releasing music, writing, recording, distributing and promoting your songs. Putting a track on iTunes, then sitting back, waiting to become famous.
Proper sitting, even reclining, is a lively activity.
Is not releasing music, it is at best distributing. Releasing music independently and effectively requires a great song, a clear goal, a plan to reach that goal, plus a load of work. Money helps, but we can work around money if we have the first 4 things. Acknowledging there are a million ways to help release a song, we are going to focus on 7 main areas that will help you successfully, independently release your music. This is not about getting signed, that's in video 4. I am assuming you have written and recorded some great songs, so we will focus on effective promotion with an honorary mention to distribution. Music tip: if struggling to work out your best song and your mum keeps telling you they're all amazing, use a service like Fluence to secure constructive feedback from music experts. Start planning at least 6 months before the day you want to officially release your single or EP. We're defining release date as the first day people can buy and listen. Your release may well be streamable before this date, so you could listen but not buy. It will almost definitely have been pre-orderable, so you could buy but not listen. Advantages to planning 6 months ahead include time to think, create and plan, get clear on what you want to achieve, what your goal is, put a strategy in place to achieve it. You'll want a different strategy if your goal is to feature in an iTunes genre top 10 versus sneak a top 200 official chart position. If your goal is to make money, you might only make your release available physically on really shiny 12-inch vinyl. You can start racking up pre-orders, particularly useful if, music tip, securing the profile of a momentary spot in an iTunes genre top 10 is probably the most realistic profile booster to go after. If your fan base is large enough to sell out the maze of Bodega, you do not register with iTunes as pop, and you time things right, target a traditionally slow week when competition is low. A strategy focused on pre-orders has the potential to get your name in an iTunes genre top 10 on the day of release next to famous musicians, making your nan very proud. Further planning ahead advantages include features in monthly print media become possible, physical releases become possible. If you have either the cash to hire or the charm to blag, professional help from a radio plugger or PR company, this gives them time to put a professional timeline in place, hard to do with 4 days to release. You can start to build relationships with people before you actually need them, meaning when you do need them, they're more receptive. Is that true? You can book in gigs. Live is vital to release success. Depending on your definition of success, one of your main reasons for release may be to help sell tickets to a key gig. Could be the other way around. Reiterating why it's vital to be clear on your goal, live shows have an interdependent relationship with your releases. Live provides the opportunity to sell physical, promote digital, as well as collect data to help later releases. Releasing music attracts new fans who then want to come to your gigs. Depending on your pre-order strategy, playing the week up to release may be more effective than the week of release. If gigs are going to fund the release, you can do a series of gigs 6 months before to fund the record, then another round of gigs at release time with a big enough gap that you haven't diluted things. Music tip: try and plan festival appearances into your release timeline, as they are a chance to reach new, already there audiences, plus you can tap into the festival's own PR machine. They might even share their PR list with you. This could be a whole video in itself, and it will be hopefully in the autumn. Overview-wise, let's start by defining a digital distributor, which in a nutshell means a company that for a fee will get your music up on iTunes, Spotify, etc., plus will collect your money for you. Big names that charge a tenner or less per single include CD Baby, TuneCore and Ditto Music. Nottingham musicians have told us good things about Townsend Music and Cargo, the latter being one of those services who tend to service labels only. Plus there is Knots based In-Flight, a service provided by the boys and girls of I'm Not From London, meaning if things do go wrong, there are humans you can say hi to at gigs, rather than a call centre in Peru that puts you on hold and listen to panpipe players with Adele. Music tip: watch out for any direct debits that keep coming out long after you consider your release to be done. We spoke in video 1 about the renaissance in vinyl, last year selling 3.2 million copies in the UK, although it's worth noting a lot of vinyl's renaissance is driven by established artists, sadly not indie 7 inches by unsigned acts. We told you in PDF 1 about places in Nottingham that sell MUSTS music. Sadly, Music Exchange is no more, with it selling local music for no fee policy, but there are record shops in Nottingham that will sell your music. Rough Trade will sell your CDs or vinyls at a price of your choosing, keeping 30% as their cut, just pop in person. Plates do this, And our host for this video, Forever Records, founded by Joey, who ran the Music Exchange, and so has a track record of supporting local artists, will sell your local vinyl only, for free. All the money will go to you. Just pop in and say, hi Joey. Absolute musts that are free include Know Your Angle. We discussed this in detail in video 8. We call it angle, others call it story. It costs nothing, it is vital. Yes, your music is the most important thing, but arguably the most important thing influencing whether people listen in the first place is your angle or story. Does it grab that DJ? Does it intrigue that blogger? Have you catalyzed the, oh, I can't wait to hear what this sounds like, type reaction? Common sense is free. Don't order your CDs a week before the launch gig. Allow a sensible amount of time for the music video to be made, then allow more. Basically, avoid being a dumbass. Utilize the BBC Uploader. A plugger could charge you $2,000 to try and get you on Radio 1. If your music's good enough, BBC Introducing will pass it on for free. Introducing in East Midlands listen to 95% of uploaded songs within 48 hours. Make sure your BBC Music page is up to date by utilising Music Brains. Music tip. Music Brains offer a service called Picard. They will embed your metadata into your song for free. Metadata being all the key info on your song, title, artist name, genre, etc. Which links us to the #1 free lunch in digital distribution. Get your metadata right. Absolutely basic, often overlooked. Sign up to Spotify for Artists to enhance your Spotify presence, maybe your chances of getting on Spotify playlists, plus learn where your fans are, useful for touring. If dreaming big and aspiring to make a dent on the charts, and they do measure up to 200, so it is possible, you need to visit here. Also, you need to register for PPL, which is free. We'll talk PRS later. Make sure you've secured your name on social media platforms and have an active, consistent presence on them. Another advantage to starting early, you can get these up and running if you've been sleeping on them a tad. EPK, electronic press kits. Some think they are vital, others that they always end up in spam. Music tip. Ultimately, an EPK is a really full email meant to get the attention of people you're trying to get the attention of. It's got bios, it's got videos, it's got downloads. Personally, assuming it gets through spam, I'm skeptical busy DJs, journalists, etc. are going to digest all that info. What you want is an email that is going to make that DJ or journalist press play, which means a personalised, short, intriguing email. More in video 3. Studio recording and music videos are both blaggable in two main ways. One, students looking to do coursework pieces and or prove themselves at the start of their career. Two, experienced pros who rate you, think you have potential, and so are willing to take a risk. No win, no fee, as it were. Both these principles apply to photographers and designers who you'll need to create eye-catching images. I doubt any credible radio DJ has played a track because of its artwork, but I bet they've initially listened to it because of it. Speaking of radio DJs, national radio plays are achievable without a plugger. Local ones definitely. Music Advice videos 3, 8 and 9 go into detail on how to secure a radio play without a plugger, plus advise you on how to potentially secure a plugger for free. Many of the principles mentioned apply to PRs too. PR costs, if not totally blaggable, are definitely reducible. And just in case we haven't made it clear, a music video is somewhere between really helpful and vital. Some music industry humans think it is the most important thing after having a great song to promoting a release. PRS is not something that you can blag, although you could avoid having to pay direct yourself if you sign to a publisher, although signing rights away to save 100 quid seems a bit short-sighted. At the average Nottingham rate of £10 an hour, you could earn your PRS fee in 10 hours of busking and make some new fans. Having the domain name of your band is a must that's pretty hard to avoid paying for, although I'm sure there's some clever way via VPN in Andorra to get .cheapskate for free. Know someone who knows someone and you might be able to get printing and manufacturing costs reduced, but it's almost impossible to get them free without some of those incriminating photos we mentioned in video 9. That is the ultimate unblaggable. You can't blag a queen. In Sherwood Co-op, the price you see is the price you pay. When you start dealing with companies, be it pluggers or printers, the price you are quoted will often have 20% VAT on top, so watch out for that. If you have found this useful, I think you will find 4 other music advice videos helpful to sculpting your release master plan. 3, 8 and 9 on radio play, 6 on gigs and 8 on local media. Speaking of which, make sure you send us a copy for playing the podcast. Music sending details are at music.org.uk/FAQ. 3 more things. 1, releasing music doesn't stop the day after the release. Keep pushing once the release is out. Have nudge events in place. Social media Q&A, fan-only living room or garage gigs, that kind of thing. 2, Check our PDF for info on the website that guarantees to get your music listened to. And finally, it really helps if you fucking go